سعادة السيد جاي رايدر المدير العام لمنظمة العمل الدولية، معالي السيد عدنان بن أب رحمن سكرتير عام وزارة الموارد البشرية عن فريق الحكومات، سعادة السيد مادوبا بيري مايسون رئيس فريق أصحاب الأعمال، سعادة السيد كورتيبك رئيس فريق العمال. باسمكم جميعا أرحب في اليوم التضامني لعمال وشعب فلسطين، وأرحب بالسادة الحاضرين اليوم متضامنين مع عمالنا وشعب فلسطين، والسيدات والسادة أصحاب المعالي والسعادة، ممثلي أطراف الإنتاج والمنظمات والهيئات العربية والإقليمية والدولية، السيدات والسادة الحضور، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نجتمع هنا كل عام مع أحرار العالم ومناهضي العنصرية والاحتلال ومحبي السلام وداعمي حقوق الإنسان في ملتقى تضامني مع عمال فلسطين والأراضي العربية المحتلة، بهدف نقل صورة وضع العمال للمجتمع الدولي وحشد التضامن والدعم معهم ومع الشعب الفلسطيني وقضيته العادلة. فكم يسعدني أن أرحب بكم مقدرا حضوركم واهتمامكم، متشرفا بلقائكم جميعا. السيدات والسادة الحضور، نتابع بحرقة ما يجري على أرض فلسطين الحبيبة والأراضي العربية المحتلة، ويؤسفنا تردي الأوضاع الاقتصادية والاجتماعية والظروف الإنسانية الصعبة التي يعيشها عمال وشعب فلسطين، ونخص بالذكر العمال الفلسطينيين داخل الأراضي 48 والمستوطنات الإسرائيلية والمناطق الصناعية، وما يعانونه يوميا من ممارسات تعسفية على الحواجز العسكرية الإسرائيلية، ومعاملة مهينة ومذلة وترسيخ وممنهج للتمييز ضدهم واستقلالهم وحرمانهم من أبسط حقوقهم في انتهاك صارخ لجميع الأعراف والمواثيق الدولية، ناهيك عن التوسع الاستيطاني المجحف للكيان الصهيوني ومصادرة الأراضي والموارد الفلسطينية وعزل المناطق عنصريا وتشديد الحصار على غزة والسيطرة الكاملة على الاقتصاد ومقومات التنمية، في تحد سافر لقرارات مجلس الأمن الدولي ذات الصلة على مرأى من العالم أجمع. إخوتي الحضور، في إطار متابعة منظمة العمل العربية المستمرة للأوضاع في فلسطين والأراضي العربية المحتلة، التقيت بمقر منظمة العمل في القاهرة بالسيد فرانك هاجمان نائب المدير الإقليمي ورئيس بعثة تقصي الحقائق في منظمة العمل الدولية، وأكدت على دور عمل لجنة تقصي الحقائق التي طالما طالبت بها المجموعة العربية في اجتماعاتها المتكررة في الوقوف على الانتهاكات التي تمارسها السلطات الإسرائيلية في مصادرة حقوق عمال وشعب فلسطين والأراضي العربية المحتلة، مشددا على ضرورة العمل لإعادة الحقوق إلى أصحابها ودعم مشاريع التشغيل من خلال تفعيل دور الجهات المانحة لتمويل هذه المشاريع، مبينا ضرورة عقد مؤتمر دولي للمانحين تشترك في تنظيمه وعقده منظمة العمل العربية والدولية، مشيرا إلى استعداد المنظمة لتقديم الدعم اللازم لتنظيم هذا المؤتمر ووضع كل إمكانياته لإنجاحه. ومن منبر هذا أجدد مطلبي بدعوة منظمة العمل الدولية لعقد مؤتمر المانحين لدعم صندوق فلسطين للتشغيل والحماية الاجتماعية للعمال للتوفير التمويل اللازم للصندوق وإيجاد فرص العمل الكريم واللائق لعمال فلسطين. السيدات والسادة، أنا على يقين أن جميع من حضر هذا الملتقى لديه اعتقاد راسخ بأن الحق لا يموت وبأن الظلم لا بد أن ينتهي ولو بعد حين، فلنضافر جهودنا جميعا لنصرة الشعب العربي الفلسطيني في مقاومة الاحتلال واسترداد أبسط حقوقه الإنسانية في حياة كريمة تليق بتضحياته وصموده، ولندعم آماله في اعتراف جميع دول العالم بدولة فلسطين وعاصمتها القدس الشريف. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. باسمكم أدعي معالي الدكتور مأمون أبو شهلة وزير العمل بدولة فلسطين لإلقاء كلمته.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, your presence with us today is clear proof and solid assurance that you are sincere friends to our Palestinian people in general and to our workers and laborers in particular. On behalf of these inside Palestine or those who are scattered all over the world, I have great honor to thank you, and it is also my pleasure to express the deep respect to all of you and to your governments and to your people on behalf of my government and my President, Mr. Mahmoud Abbas. This day of solidarity with the Palestinian workers is a great message of support to our people in the refugees camps and in the villages and cities where they are just surviving and not living. They are in deep agony and suffering because of being homeless since 70 years for many of them, and since 50 years for the remainings. 1/3 of our workers are unemployed, and consequently 1/3 of our people in Gaza, West Bank and Jerusalem are living under their line of poverty. As our economy under the Israeli occupation is weak, fragile, and crippled. We became very poor and in very damaged economy. Therefore, due to the unemployment and the poverty, large number of our workers became obliged to work inside Israel. About 150,000 workers are used by Israeli employers under very difficult circumstances. Described in the good report of the ILO team, repeated yearly, and explain how majority of them are suffering from many problems. We hope that the ILO and some of the friends of the international workers, unions and federations will help us and the Israelis to reorganize the whole matters according to the agreements and the international laws and measures. We plea to our friends all over the world to help us in salvage our laborers from the unemployment misery by helping our government to increase the number and the quality of the training centers in our country, also to give loans and logistic support to the Palestinian Fund for Employment and Social Protection, to give revolving loans to our youth, to establish SMEs projects to tackle the problems of poverty and unemployment. This is the only solution to create peaceful and calm atmosphere in the country in favor of the security and stability in the region and the world in general. Thank you. All the best. My best regards.
شكرا لمعالي الوزير مامون أبو شهلة على هذه الكلمة المعبرة، وهي نابع على ما يعانيه عمال وشعب فلسطين في الأراضي العربية المحتلة. أصحاب المعالي والسعادة ممثلي أطراف الإنتاج الثلاثة، منظمات الدولية والعربية، الأخوة الحضور، باسمكم أعطي الكلمة لمدير منظمة العمل الدولية، فهي إن دلت فهي على دلالة على اهتمام رأس الهرم في منظمة العمل الدولية ممثلة بمديرها العام سيد رايدر، فليتفضل لإلقاء كلمته.
Thank you very much, Mr. Al-Muttari, Director General of the Arab Labour Organization, Honourable Minister Mamoun Abu Shahla, Minister of Labour of Palestine, Her Excellency Mr. Adnan bin Al-Rahman, representing the Government of Malaysia, chairpersons of the Employers and of the Workers Group, dear friends. Once again, I am pleased and proud to join all of you in this day of solidarity gathering. I have to say it's an event which I always feel it is important for me to participate in, and I also think each year that I hope it's a meeting that I will not have to participate again in the future. Regrettably, year after year, we find ourselves in circumstances where we are called upon to demonstrate our solidarity with the people and the workers of Palestine. Earlier this week, the United Nations Secretary General issued a statement on the 5th of June, a statement marking 50 years of Israeli occupation of the Palestinian territory. And this is what he said. I'm going to quote him very briefly. Mr. Guterres said that the occupation has shaped the lives of both Palestinians and Israelis. It has fueled recurring cycles of violence and retribution. Its perpetuation is sending an unmistakable message to generations of Palestinians that their dreams of statehood is destined to remain just that, a dream, and to Israelis that their desire for peace, security, and regional recognition remains unattainable. And Mr. Guterres went on to say that now is the time to end the conflict by establishing an independent Palestinian state, living side by side in peace and security with the State of Israel. And he concluded his comments by saying that almost 7 decades since the first United Nations resolution on the matter, the world still awaits the birth of an independent Palestinian state, and there is nobody here who would disagree that this wait has been far too long. As is my duty, ladies and gentlemen, I have again presented a report to the International Labour Conference which sets out the situation of working people in Palestine. I do not intend to go through the detail of the information provided in that report. I think it suffices to say that it is a report which contains little good news. It is a report which sets out dispassionately and objectively the levels of suffering, the levels of deprivation that Palestinian working people and their families are obliged to undergo. It shows that unemployment, most particularly in Gaza, but also in the West Bank, is at levels unheard of in other parts of the world, even in these times of very high unemployment. The report also shows that despite the multiple obstacles that it faces, the Palestinian Authority continues with the task of state building. And we have, despite all of the adverse circumstances, to recognize and to congratulate the authority on steps that it has already continued to take. We have seen the finalization of a national policy agenda for 2017 to 2022. We have seen, and I think it particularly important, that the authority has established a social security law for the private sector and is in the process of establishing a social security institute. These efforts, of course, require our recognition and support, but they also require our practical assistance. And I want to echo you, Director General, in calling upon not just everybody here, but the international community more generally, in its appeal for a new effort at material, practical solidarity, not just the speeches we make here this evening, but the financial and material support that our Palestinian friends need to continue the process of state building. The Minister has quite rightly spoken of the obligation, I think the word is correct, that many Palestinian workers feel to seek jobs in Israel because of the absence of opportunities at home. My report, and this is relatively new this year, sets out in some detail the problems, the injustices facing those workers, inhumane conditions at crossing points, the abuses of brokers, labour brokers, who seek to profit from the vulnerability of those who are just simply trying to earn a living. These are areas which we must act upon. And we will, at the ILO, work hard with our Palestinian friends to do just that. I want to say that in a set of circumstances which are distressing, which give little reason for optimism, it is our duty to continue to work hard to bring improvement. And I want to share with you all one very positive element that I have detected from my conversations with my Palestinian friends at this conference, and that is the renewed strength of social dialogue between the government, between the representatives of Palestinian trade unions, PGFTU, and Palestinian employers. I detect renewed tripartite cooperation to meet up to the challenges that Palestine faces. I take encouragement from that, and again, I believe that we are all called upon to give that support. So, Director General, when I was given the honour of an audience by President Abbas when he was in Geneva in March, I was able to tell him of the continuing commitment and determination of the International Labour Organization to meet its responsibilities towards the workers and the people of Palestine. I also indicated that I hope it will be possible and opportune for me to visit Palestine in the course of this year, and I maintain that hope. And I do all of this because I believe that what we do does make a difference. It is easy to be discouraged in circumstances which have prevailed for too long and may sometimes appear beyond our capacity to alter. But that is not the spirit in which the ILO and its tripartite constituents face up to their responsibility in these matters. So once again, Director General, thank you for including me tonight. You can continue to count on the support and solidarity of the ILO. Thank you very much.
شكرا للسيد جيرايدر على هذه الكلمة. وفعلا الشعوب العربية والإسلامية وكل الداعمين لعمال وشعب فلسطين فعلا سئموا وملوا الخطابات، فلا بد من حلول على أرض الواقع، ونحن نقدم هذا التعاون لرفع المعاناة عن عمال وشعب فلسطين. وباسمكم أدعو معالي السيد عدنان بن أب عبد الرحمن سكرتير عام وزارة الموارد البشرية عن فريق الحكومات، فليتفضل.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. His Excellency Mr. Mamoun Abu Shahla, Minister of Labour of the State of Palestine, Mr. Guy Ryder, Director General of ILO, Mr. Mawaba, Chairman of Employment Group of ILO, and Mr. Kottabek, Chairman of Workers Group. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I extend warm greetings and heartiest congratulations to the people and workers of the State of Palestine on this occasion of the Solidarity meeting with Palestinian people and workers. For 70 years, international efforts to find a just and lasting solution to the question of Palestine have remained unsuccessful. For generations, Palestinians continue to live under occupation. Resolutions by the United Nations or initiatives for peace have been ignored by Israel, the occupying power. Moreover, world powers seem paralyzed or unwilling to reprimand Israel for its intransigence. Palestinian people and workers have been prevented from realizing and living their full potential. Their human rights and fundamental freedoms continue to be violated on a daily basis. As the Israeli occupation of Palestine territory and the illegal blockade of Gaza continue, achieving peace becomes more difficult. The situation in Gaza is worsening in the West Bank, including East Jerusalem. There are daily infringements of Palestinian rights as land is increasingly lost to illegal settlements. Israel's continuous and increasing expansion of its illegal settlements is threatening the two-state solution, which is, as the United Nations General Assembly and Security Council have agreed in their various resolutions, the solution to the question of Palestine. As Israeli occupation continues and intensifies, Palestinian people and workers are the victims. The obstacles from occupation affect the everyday realities of Palestinian workers as Israel continues to severely restrict movement and economic activity. Thus, the Palestinian labor market is fragmented and unemployment remains extremely high. Through the years, Malaysia has been unwavering in its support of the aspirations of the Palestinian people and workers. Malaysia has continued to call on the international community to stand in solidarity with the people of Palestine in the struggle for an independent state of Palestine. We have also called on the United Nations Security Council to shoulder its responsibilities as mandated by the UN Charter. We call on all parties to take urgent action to make good their commitment to the two-state solution. We support the call by the Palestinian leadership for 2017 to the year end. Israeli occupations to correct the historic injustice suffered by the Palestinian people and to admit the state of Palestine as a full member of the United Nations. Malaysia commends the Palestinian people and workers for their strength, perseverance, and determination. Malaysia will continue to support and stand together with Palestinians. We believe that all people who believe in peace, freedom, and justice also share the hope for a comprehensive, just, and lasting solution to the question of Palestine. It is my fervent hope that this solidarity meeting will heighten public awareness on all aspects of challenges facing the Palestinian people and promote wider international support and assistance to them. Thank you.
شكرا معالي السيد عدنان ممثل فريق الحكومات، وباسمكم أدعي سعادة السيد مدوابة رئيس فريق أصحاب الأعمال. تفضل.
Thank you very much, DG. Appreciate the opportunity to speak on behalf of the employers group. On behalf of our group, the employers, I would like to express solidarity with the Palestinian people and workers of the occupied Arab territories. As a South African with a history of past laws and restrictions of movement which were part of an orchestrated, unjust system, it brings huge pain to me personally as I represent my group that we should still have inhumane practices as experienced in the occupied Arab territories. It is very clearly expressed in the DG's report that the 50th anniversary of the occupation has not led to substantial hope, and despite the Security Council resolution last year, the peace process seems to be suspended in time, nervously waiting for something to happen, as it's quoted in the report. The hardship, exploitation, oppression, and high levels of unemployment is completely unacceptable and unsustainable. We have noted how women and the youth are particularly affected by this inhumane treatment. We support calls for a continued focus on real initiatives for peace and investment, more cooperation between the Israeli authorities and the Palestinian government will help to better channel mobility in the labor market. Restrictions on economic activity need to be lifted and donor support ambitiously pledged. As the employer stated last year, with a great deal of relief, the ILO can and should embark on providing large-scale technical assistance within the framework of the newly established flagship programs on fragile states and disaster response. Thank you, DG.
سيد مدوابة على هذه الكلمة المعبرة والمختصرة. والآن الكلمة عند السيد كورتي باك رئيس فريق العمال، وكلمته لابد أن تتضمن اهتمامات فريق العمال، حيث أن هذا التضامن مع عمال وشعب فلسطين، وهي الكلمة الأخيرة، فليتفضل.
Thank you, Mr. President. Minister, Director General of the ILO, Director General of the ILO, Secretary General representing Malaysia, and my colleague Mdwabe. Dear Excellencies and ladies and gentlemen, allow me on behalf of the Workers' Group to address this respected audience in solidarity with the people and workers of Palestine and other occupied Arab territories. This year marks the 50th anniversary of the Israeli occupation. Once again, the report portrays a grim reality of an even worsening situation of Palestinian men and women under Israeli occupation. While attempts at finding a negotiated solution for a two-state solution have failed, Israeli settlements in violation of UN resolutions have continued to expand, making the living and the working conditions of Palestinians extremely difficult. Unemployment has reached record levels, with youth and women being the hardest hit. More than a quarter of the Palestinian labor force is unemployed. Palestinian youth represent 35% of the working age, but less than a third have a job. The labor market situation of women is worrying. Many of them are employed in low-paid and precarious jobs. Even when women are educated, their participation in the labor market remains low. The situation of Gaza remains dramatic as it continues to be sealed off by land, sea and air, leaving many Gazan households in a desperate situation. While Palestinian workers working in Israel benefit from higher wages, we are concerned at the abuses they suffer due to unscrupulous labor brokers who charge Palestinian workers abusive recruitment fees. The multitude of checkpoints also give rise to long waiting and travel times and humiliating situations that are inconsistent with the right of Palestinian workers to decent working and living conditions. In this regard, our group welcomes the continued cooperation between Histadrut and the PFGTU to improve the situation of Palestinian workers employed in Israel. We also invite the Israeli authorities to address the abuses suffered by Palestinian workers, including through reforms to the permit regime. In this extremely difficult context, the Workers' Group is pleased that the new Decent Work Country Programme 2017-2020 has been developed with the assistance of the ILO. And we welcome the priority given to the strengthening of social dialogue and the promotion of freedom of association. And we are also glad that the dispute between the Palestinian Authority and the PGFTU, which prevented the PGFTU from accessing its financial assets for much of a year, was largely resolved in December 2016. We have seen with satisfaction that tripartite bodies have resumed their functioning, as the Director General told already. We equally welcome the adoption of the first ever law on social security that was signed by President Abbas in September 2016. We launch an appeal to the international community to support the building up of the social security institution. In conclusion, recovery of the Palestinian economy requires credible steps toward the two-state solution as envisaged by the relevant United Nations resolutions. A sustained economic growth trajectory can only be attained by lifting the blockade on Gaza, the internal and external closures, and the restrictions on public and private investment, land control, and natural resource management. Economic recovery also requires timely, predictable, and substantial donor support, not only for budget support, but also to fund investment to revive the battered productive base. We strongly appeal for serious and effective international efforts to bring about a viable and lasting peace between Israelis and Palestinians that are the precondition for vibrant labour markets. We call for genuine and effective assistance to the Palestinian people to sustain the continued performance of the Palestinian institutions. Thank you.
شكرا لرئيس فريق العمال على هذه الكلمة. وقبل أن أشكر المتحدثين اليوم لابد أن أشكر أصحاب المعالي والسعادة الوزراء رؤساء الوفود الذي أراهم اليوم موجودين، وكل من حضر من ممثلي أطراف الإنتاج المنظمات الدولية والعربية، وعلى العمل المتعب على طول اليوم ونحن في آخر النهار. اليوم هذا دلالة على حرصكم ودعمكم لعمال وشعب فلسطين، وعلى التزامكم السنوي على هامش مؤتمر العمل الدولي. أن حضوركم يعجز اللسان عن شكركم عنه أمانة، وهو دلالة على حبكم لعمال وشعب فلسطين. وأسأل الله لي ولكم بأن تزول جميع هذه الهموم وهذه المشاكل. وختاما أهنئكم بما فات من رمضان الكريم وما تبقى منه رمضان كريم على الجميع. وأشكر جميع المتحدثين، السيد مدير منظمة العمل الدولية رايدر، ورئيس فريق الحكومات، وكذلك رئيس فريق العمال، وكذلك رئيس أرباب العمل، ومأمون أبو شهلة. يعني أمانة هذا واجبه ما قدمه، وأنا كذلك هذا واجبي. بعدما نرفع الجلسة هناك في معرض للمنتوجات والمخطوطات والرسوم يقدمها أحد شبابنا الفلسطيني. أتمنى مرورا والاطلاع على هذا المعرض. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بارك الله فيك. Thank you.
Thank you, DG.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Nice
Lovely
to
to
meet
meet you.
you. Nice to meet you.
Well done, Matonzi. Very powerful. You have a good line there.
Thank
you
you
have
so
a good
much.
line.
Thank you.